Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'll be talking about the facts and the reason why Carlee Russell must face jail time as part of her atonement. And what I would like to do is to make sure any of you who agree or disagree with me, make sure you comment in the comment section. I think she should do some jail time. And if you don't think she should, say something about it. Let's discuss it. This maybe there's no wrong or right reason to this, but I think there is. I think she should pay for her transgressions, just like anybody else. She's a grown adult, and we shouldn't let her off the hook. But also, please like, share, subscribe to my channel, because I'll bring you more content like this. Because this is relationship content. This is a girl who's been pampered and entitled that went bad. And I think we should talk about it because she comes from a two-family household. A lot of times we blame wayward children on a single mom and all of that kind of stuff. This is an example where that's not the case, right? This is not the case. And she's done just as a heinous kind of thing as anybody else. So there's a psychology behind it. And I wanted to try to be fair, right? Because we always like to highlight the issues with a single parent. And this time, it's not true here. Matter of fact, her parents seems like they were well-to-do. She's 25 and she's driving a Mercedes, right? That she left on the side of the road. Okay. So I'm not going to rehash her deception. We're going to just move forward. I like to focus on the harm that she caused to women, in particular Black women. Folks, there's a certain amount of grace people in the West have been socialized to give women when they've been wronged. We know what kind of wrongs we're talking about, so we don't have to go into those details. But there's a certain amount of grace that we want to believe them first. And the perpetrator or the accused perpetrator has to fight to prove their innocence. It's not fair. But we do it anyway, right? Because somewhere in the past, women weren't believed at all. But now we've swung the pendulum so far to the other side that we're accusing people and we're convicting them in a court of public opinion, whether they're guilty or not. It's not fair, but that's what's going on. And Black women are the biggest, victims and beneficiaries of that so-called believe all women thing, which I think is wrong, but that's where we are. So, so so that grace, there's a growing number of detractors, such as myself, I have to admit that, who are saying there's too much grace, that we're giving women in deference to what they say. It's too much, but it's grace nonetheless. Okay, men's lives and livelihoods have been irrevocably destroyed on merely an accusation. There's so many examples. There's just too many to rehash here. So, but some of them have merit, but there's a statistically significant amount of these kind of accusations that are completely without merit. And there's been men spending years in jail, losing careers, losing money, losing everything because of a lie. And a retraction never really seems to give them their life back. So the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard scenario is really the exception. It's not the rule. All right, so getting back to this thing. So to Carlee's issue, her crime, or her alleged crime, let's put it that way, because I think it's going to come out. I got some stuff that shows you that, and by now everybody knows this is a hoax. So I got a few clips. The first, was the car going down 6 football fields, 600 yards, chasing the white Hussein Bolt baby, right? Okay. And then nobody's asking why the video doesn't show her getting out of the car and going into the woods. The footage was there. It's not like the footage stopped. They're just withholding the fact that when she stopped the car, she got out, and what happened? They never show what happened after she stopped the car. She called the cops came 5 minutes later. They don't even show the cops coming up 5 minutes later. At least the video feeds I see stop at her stopping at that stop sign. And we're going to talk about that later, not the stop sign, but the sign in the road. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little later. But what happened? What happened after that? We didn't see no baby. We didn't see no truck. We didn't see no kidnappers. We didn't see her getting out of the car. And how could we not have video of where she disappeared to? It doesn't make a sense. So now, did the camera that was on her car, did it run out of film? Do they have film that way? No. It's all electronics. So they're not showing the clip after, she stops on the highway. And that's on purpose. So, and a lot of people ain't even asking that question. Why did they stop it right there? How come they don't show where she went? And all of that stuff. I mean, what's the explanation for that? Okay, so now I've lived in the Bronx, and when we moved up there in the '60s, early '60s, '70s, there was there was tremendous amount of lots and shrubbery around where they eventually built projects. We're talking about acres and acres of land full with vegetation, and at night you can't see anything. There was paths, there was this and that, and because we were young, a lot of times we were smart. We were brave enough to go into the dark woods. We had flashlights and stuff, but nobody would walk into those damn woods without a flashlight. So if she went into the woods, she certainly couldn't have gone in there in the dark. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to show you a video that just popped up. And no word of a lie, it's on this same thing I'm talking about. What happened after she got out of the car? So here's a glimpse of what this lady from the Pink Book Lessons captured from this guy who actually retraced Carlee's steps. And he did it at night. And this is some interesting stuff. So I'm gonna stop sharing here. I'm gonna show you what he's talking about. And I think you'll get a kick out of, maybe not a kick, but you'll get a little bit out of what I'm saying. So let's do this. Let's do this. All right. All right. Okay. Here we go.
This is what y'all been waiting for. I am at the actual location where Carlee Russell called 911 on the side of 459. It is pitch black out here.
Look at this. Look at how dark it is. Pitch black. There's no way you could see a baby from a half-mile away or a quarter-mile away on the interstate at night. Not even a white baby. It would be hard to see deer on the side of the road here. Unless you're right on them, you could probably see them better as you're passing by. So yeah, this proves what a lot of us already knew. Carlee picked this spot specifically, and now we see why. Look at the trail there. Carlee knew this trail was here. It looks like she planned to stop here to go down this trail. That's why she traveled 600 yards down the road while on the phone with 911.
Fair use.
She was inching down the interstate looking for that trail so she can stop her red Mercedes right there at this specific spot.
I'm going to show you how easy you can see going down this trail at night. Because if you turn the light off, it's pitch black.
This is what we used to do when we were in, this is what we used to do when we were in Harlem. Looking at, not Harlem, in the Bronx, going through those weeds.
It's pitch black. But if you got a flashlight, you can see. And this is the area. This is the area. You can see. So if you know this exists, you can clearly go down this trail. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down the trail. Did Carlee go down the trail?
So this is
Did Carlee go down the trail?
What she did, she got out of that car. She had a flashlight, and she went
Did
through
she
this
know the trail
trail,
was here?
allegedly, to get to where she had to go on the other side.
Would you go down this trail at night?
No way, I would never. I wouldn't go down this trail during the day with a group of people, let alone at night when it's pitch black alone. I'm sorry, I watched way too many horror movies growing up to ever try this. No way. Do you think that she had a flashlight or another cell phone with a flashlight on it? Because she left her phone on the side of the road. So Carlee either had another phone with her or a flashlight that she took from home or something, because I don't think she picked that up from Target. She just had the granola bars and the Cheez-Its.
I'm already hit the concrete right here. This is the concrete. I've hit the concrete trail. Easy walk. Easy walk. I can clearly see ahead of myself. Now, if you turn the light off, pitch black. Let's continue. She only has a few minutes before authorities arrive. Did she go down this trail?
Well, let me stop that right there, and we can stop sharing and just kind of, try to figure out what we think. Now, it's up to you to think what you want to believe, right? Just like anybody else. I think that this is a really good possibility if this is what she did, right? I mean, she went somewhere. How come they didn't find her? You see what I'm saying? She went somewhere. All right. So listen. So we so so there's people people are willing to allow the rules to continue in order to appease the black community. I think the police knew from the beginning that this was like a hoax, right? This was a hoax, and they knew it, but they wanted to go through the process, spend millions of dollars, just so they didn't have to go through the typical bull crap, you know, from the defunct and disgraced organizations like BLM, to go find uh, not only the black woman but the so-called white baby. They knew the white baby was a hoax from the beginning. There was no white baby. It was just ridiculous. So so then the parents has a press conference once she shows up. And I want to show you the look on the father's face. In this press conference. Okay, and I will share that, and we're gonna look at his face. All right. Let me see which one is it. All right, there you go. I'm not going to play this, but look at his face. Look at the man who recognizes that the chickens are coming home to roost, and that he allowed his daughter and his wife most likely to come up with this ruse, and not only come up with the ruse, but actually get on national TV and let them perpetuate what they have to know is a lie for their daughter. And I'm looking at his face, and he's probably spent his whole life appeasing the women in his life, like a lot of us do. But at this point, even if he could have told his wife, we're not doing that press conference, he didn't have to appear on camera. I don't care what my wife would have told me. I wasn't going to be a part of this. Just tell them that, I'm still processing and I don't feel like being on camera. You go ahead. If you want to sit down there and lie to them, you do it on your own. But I'm not going to do that. But look at his face. Here's a defeated man. He put all his money, he put all his time, he put all his effort into trying to raise, a child that would be a benefit to society. And at this point, he knows he failed. At least up to this point, he failed. His daughter went through college. She went through this. She went through that. She gets fired from a job. She's stealing from a job. And then she comes up with this elaborate ruse. an elaborate ruse to embarrass not only herself, but her mother, her father, the entire Black community, everybody. How could she just walk away from that? What kind of accountability can she have if it's not jail time? Now, I'm not saying she should, go into a penitentiary like Oz on HBO or something like that. But Paris Hilton did time. Do you know that she did like 23 days in jail because she put her middle finger up to the law because she thought she was above the law because her last name was Hilton. And the day she got out of jail, she never got in trouble again. Ever. Ever. She never got in trouble again. Okay, so sometimes you got to face up to your responsibility and your accountability, and it's not always just a forgiveness without a slap on the wrist. You got to do something. She needs to hear those doors on that jail cell close, and even if she only spends a month in there, it would satisfy the need to show everybody that you can't just come up with shit and get away with it, and without reprisal, right? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's finish it. I got one more thing I want to show you guys. All right, because there's some latest information that just came out. So we're going to stop sharing that, and we're going to share this final thing for you to see. Okay? The final thoughts. No? All right, we're going to share this. Stay tuned.
A statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement entirely, which I will do now.
Fair use. Fair use.
My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone from the time she was missing.
See, I don't believe that.
My
She's
client
still
apologizes for her actions to this community,
She didn't do all
the
this by herself.
volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carlee, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers.
All right, let me stop it for you right there. Okay? Now, we can still give her forgiveness and prayers, but should she just get away scot-free with no reprisal? Is that what we're doing now? That all you have to do is ask for forgiveness for your sins or for your crimes, and nobody can do anything about it? Is that enough? Is that enough? All right. So the question that's a question for you guys. In the Black community, especially Black women, should be calling for her to be accountable through punishment, not just because let's acknowledge that she lied to us. It's got to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? How can it just be that? I don't understand where we're coming from with that. Really, what do you think? Should we just say, okay, hey Carlee, we kind of understand, we give you a pass and all of that kind of good stuff, right? She cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. Millions. Not a few, but millions of dollars. Right? The police didn't find her story credible from the beginning. Okay, she deserves due process, of course, But if she's found guilty of wasting, she put her plea in already, so she's not going to fight it. But how do we could pray for her, but this hoax should be followed up with some jail time, some kind of punishment. She owes a debt to all the real victims of the past and the ones that could come in the future, who the cops and everybody might be hesitant to believe a story. I mean, she cannot be allowed to hide behind the rules of mental illness as opposed to selfish entitlement. How can she be allowed to do that? Society demands punishment, and women should be at the loudest voices for this. So the grace of believability, should not be further eroded because of what Carlee did. We need to be able to say, listen, we forgive you. We understand you might have something with your boyfriend or whatever the real true story is, and we still think you're omitting some of the truth. So here, take this 30 days. You sit and contemplate your future and the damage that you've done, and we'll let you out, and then you can go along about your married life with forgiveness and the return of grace. But the next woman who comes up with an elaborate rules, we ain't gonna allow it, and we're letting people know, well, you can't just do these kind of things. So look, I'm gonna land it there. I think we should all be a little upset with her. Do we need to hate her? No, because most of us knew it was bullshit from the beginning. Okay, most of us did know that. So does she need psychological help? Yeah. Does she need to apologize publicly herself? I think so. And if she doesn't, whether she does it not, that doesn't mean she shouldn't do some jail time. Just like the bars on this thumbnail, she should hear those bars close on her for at least 30 days. Keep her in protective custody. I don't care. Even if it's only 15, she just needs to we need to punish her one way or the other. That's it. Society needs to punish her. Rich Payne, R. Payne, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.